Welcome back to our interview segment here on Sunday Live. Now tonight, the ultimatum that court gave Jubilee to start talks with regards to the reforms in the IEBC has expired, and so tomorrow they have vowed to return to the streets. Tonight, to shed light on the way forward for the country is Bishop Alfred Rotich. Unfortunately, Patricia Nyaundi from the KNCHR has been unable to join us tonight. Bishop, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right, tonight on the discussion. Bishop, you were part of a team that held talks and met with President Uhuru Kenyatta over the controversy surrounding the CORD protests against IEBC. Could you give us some insights into what transpired and into what you took away from it?
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity for us to engage also the people of Kenya through the media. All along we have interacted with IEBC. We have interacted with the cohesion, the Commission on National Cohesion and Integration. We have interacted also with the Parliament, and we were planning too that at the later stage, when this dialogue matures, then we would move to the presidency. But on occasion, like on the breakfast day, availed itself.
Of course.
So then I think we had warm greetings with the president because we were there interreligious. And then, of course, it was an opportunity to book for an appointment. And I'm sure in the coming days we'll be able to work there with the religious community so that we can also seek his wisdom and hear his part. Because our engagement with other the parties were not so much to give a position, but for us to listen to them, what is deep in their hearts. And they did express their issues, because when we delved into the pool, we felt that they are all talking about a concern about Kenya, about elections. And we told them that we need to engage politicians so that they can resolve their issues.
Yes.
So I think what is coming out is different from agitating from the IEBC, because I think we need to separate issues and personality.
Right, and of course bring in that sober perspective to ease the tension. Our court says the demonstrations are within their rights to hold and cannot be outlawed by the police. Now, where is the thin line here between rights and responsibilities in your views?
Well, I think it is important also, and it is good that the leaders stand tall to be counted. They have been talking about integrity, respect of one another. This should be seen even in areas like when they have grievances. That they need also to have what we call patience. They need also to give other people a chance so that they can also hear what the people are saying. Here we know demonstration are a right. There is a right, and it is a right to picket. They have to move. But we are saying when we have already dialogued with them, we are asking them to pause a little bit and listen to us as we move, because we also have what we call a 12-hour clock, so that we don't injure any process. And that is also dignifying, it is gentlemanly, and also if the ladies are involved, we know it is dignified.
It's dignified.
Yes.
So the idea is that the temperatures have to simmer down so that there's an opportunity for dialogue and an opportunity to move away from the temperaments and how violent they've become actually, these protests. I think another question along those lines is that, you know, from the KNCHR to Kotu, you know, Canon Karaja led a group of churches as well, to the leaders of KANU and Amani and now Kenya. IEBC is perceived as an arbiter, as it were, and hence has to leave the stage before 2017. Does the present commissioners of IEBC, you know, have a chance of being there in 2017? Is that something that you're able to touch on?
Well, I will not divulge any information because we are still working around it. And therefore, the case about IBC, I leave it to the technical area, because we need also to listen to them. When we are listening to them as an institution, an independent, that it is a creation of the Constitution. And if it is the creation of a Constitution, and we are now, from 2010, we would like to ask people around it, and especially Kenyans, to give a creation of a Constitution time to nurture. Yes, if they have grievances that it is maybe perhaps like the fig tree that is not producing something, then give it time so that you can work around it. If there are weeds, then you pluck it out and even prune it. And that is not to say that you have to do it alone. But there is need to understand. And I think that there is a wisdom in understanding what is it that we are looking for, so that we don't injure the process that has been put by all of us constitutionally. Therefore, creating a constitutional crisis is what we don't want, because we are devolving. And we are just learning the ropes. Imagining the governors are learning the ropes through the government. And therefore, even they, as an institution, need to look at and evaluate what has it been their work, and what has already come to the fore. Are the people, what is the feedback? So we let them also give us their feedback. And when we dialogue with them, when we go soberly, then they are able to tell us their cries, their achievements, and also what they are planning for the country. And therefore, I think they are ready to listen also. They are listening.
You feel like they're at that point. A lot of people who've been watching the protests, which have really escalated over the last few Mondays, so it doesn't all go well for 2017, considering what happened in 2007, 2008. Just before we began the interview, I asked you whether you see a way out soon, and you sound optimistic. Many aren't optimistic. Many are tense, nervous ahead of what's happening tomorrow. As a bishop, as a member of the church, as a voice really of the community, what would you like to say to Kenyans, especially those who are a little apprehensive about where all this is going?
I think I would like to encourage the Kenyans to be patient, and also to see that it is beyond discussion about issues. What is emerging and it's coming to the fore is anger. And they are what we call festering wounds, because they were not solved before even this discussion. So people have been injured in the process, and I'm not saying only one party. People in politics, they sometimes go to the burned out mode. And therefore there is need to inject freshness by asking them also to pause and listen to this voice, the conscientious voice, to tell them, listen, you need also to pause and look at your wounds, because what is coming out is lack of reconciliation. And that is why we are introducing, as a church and also as partnership, even in the religious line, let's give what we call reconciliation an opportunity, so that the whole country is reconciled, and therefore we are poised for elections. We need a happy and credible and fair elections, and because we are also asking the citizen to look at our leadership. If they are not able to give us an opportunity, then it becomes an opportunity for us to write the profile who is going to be elected next time. So we need to work together, so that we see the goodness in each person, because we are all masterpieces of God's creation. But what we are saying is, let's give talks and conversation an opportunity.
All right. And I think what you've mentioned is profound reconciliation. I think the journey to reconciliation is probably something that we would want to unpack. How do we even get there? The wounds that you're talking about that have been festering, that are so deep-seated, how do we begin the process of reconciliation? I think is something that we'll be looking to probably talk about down the line. But Bishop, I thank you so much for taking time to come and lend a sober voice throughout all of this that's happening. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much, and God bless you.
All right, God bless you too. Thank you. All right, stay